All right, we back at it. Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, live from the Fab Factory Studios.
Shout out to Fab Factory and shout out to our brother.
Yeah.
Man, first time.
First time.
It's been a long time coming. We had that many rich people on the show. We have had rich people on the show, but not as rich as Brody Brown.
Man, Brody Brown up in here, man. How you doing, brother?
Man,
yeah, man.
I'm not even, listen.
Not only is he rich, he's talented too.
Why
you know what I'm saying?
Why this?
No. Okay, look.
Why the truth?
Which word gets the AF on it? Is it rich AF or is it talented AF? Pick one.
Ooh, you know what? I would have said talented AF, but then I heard the album and I'm like, oh yeah, he rich. I'm going with rich AF. You know what I'm saying? Based off listening to the Kickback. You know what I mean? Congratulations on the album, Fire, by the way.
Thank you.
First and foremost, I mean,
Thanks.
we already know the caliber of talent that you are, but I think just hearing that kind of reminds and refreshes for the people that may not know. Right. You know, we'll get into the whole resume and everything like that, but
we're going to get to the album too, because I'm really pleased with this body of work. And
you got some slap. Right?
I mean, I didn't think I would be.
I didn't think you would be. Like,
I didn't think I would be, but we'll get to that. But for the people that don't know, I mean, your resume is stupid. Okay, I don't even want to we don't even have time to do that. Right. I mean, unless.
I mean, I was just going to obviously get to the songwriter producer, but I love how the bio says multi-instrumentalist. Like, God damn.
Okay, so give me a list of instruments you play.
That's what I want to start with.
So I play drums, I play keyboard, I play bass, I play guitar, and anything you put in my hand, I'm gonna learn that.
So how old were you when you first? What was the first instrument, and how old were you when you started?
I started at like 2 playing drums.
What?
At 2.
Before you could talk?
Before I could talk, I was, first of all, I had a washing machine in my house.
That's privilege, but go ahead. Go ahead and start. He been rich.
Right. So look, I had a washing machine, right? And I used to sit in front of it as a baby, as it goes, sugar, 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 sugar. And I used to rock back and forth to it. That's how I knew, like, the rhythm. That's how my mother knew.
Got you. I was about to say, you had memories of that?
Nah. That's how my mama knew. So
she already knew at that point, like, all right, we gotta kind of cultivate that, nurture that.
So when you said 2 years old, so when did you finally get a drum set? I would assume.
I got a drum set at 4.
See, that's crazy.
I got a drum
I always
set
want to. How old is your son?
He's 4 now.
Oh yeah, I'm finna get this nigga a drum set.
Oh yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it.
You always got to get if you don't live with the kid, buy them a drum set.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I love that.
Get the toys that don't have no noise, please. For all those that want to do a favor to the parents, get toys and get things that don't listen to him. Don't do that.
Yeah, I got on my grandmother and my mama's nerve.
Oh,
banging on the drum,
banging on TVs,
everything,
pots,
whatever,
anything.
Just making noise.
Now something that's interesting about you. And I kind of find interesting about a lot of people, the church is usually the foundation for a lot of people coming up in terms of music. Is that the same thing for you as well?
That's the exact same thing.
Really? What do you think the correlation is? Because a lot of people that you hear, they start in the church. Right. You know, we obviously the washing machine for you, but it's like you cultivate that in church. So talk about that story for yourself.
I mean, when you're growing up in church, it's a lot of things that you have to be like aware of when it comes down to the music ministry or whatever. And you get some of the most, how can I say it? Some of the most like stern choir directors and and like
they assholes.
Yeah, exactly. So you get
there's assholes in church.
Absolutely. And you get that training of like always paying attention and being on like when the director says stop, break. Knowing what different sign languages is.
A lot of impromptu as well.
A lot of impromptu.
One band, one sound.
Yeah, straight up. And dealing with like 4 different instruments playing at once, knowing how to gel, playing your part.
Because I don't want to skip steps, but when you were playing the drum set at 4, when did the noise start to make sense, I guess? Because you didn't know what you were doing, I'm assuming, at 4, or unless you were a child fucking prodigy.
I thought I knew what I was doing.
Okay.
But I didn't know until I started becoming a church drummer.
Perfect. What age was that?
I was 6.
Nigga. What? What are we doing? What is going on?
So at 6 years old, you were playing the drums in church.
Absolutely.
And we're not talking like kids ministry. You the full on
for the service.
For the full
For the service.
Yes, sitting on the edge of the seat, so my feet, you know,
fit the
foot pedal, the
pedals.
hi-hat.
Who? Okay.
Who signed off on this?
Yeah, whose idea was it to let you drum for the church? Like,
I mean, I think it was everybody's idea. You know, that's all I can say. I think it was like, ain't nobody veto it.
and you were good enough to where, like, you were doing choir rehearsals.
Choir rehearsals, on school nights.
Wow. At 6, I don't even know if I was talking correctly.
Definitely wasn't.
I probably had a sippy cup at 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A little accident here and there.
It was real for me. It was real. I had a full-on job at 6.
So was was it same thing for the family, or were you a standout kid? Like, were you the only one in your family that was musical?
Nah, my whole family is musical.
Okay. Got it.
On both sides, my mom and my dad's side.
So you had the cheat code.
Yeah.
Got you. What backgrounds your mom and dad have? Were they in the music industry, or they was just doing music?
Just doing music.
Got you.
Well, my mom never did music. She sang in a choir. She had a gospel group. My daddy used to write for Coolio.
Get out of
Word.
Yeah, 40 Thieves and them back in the day.
So you had it around you at an early age
Absolutely.
from music to music industry.
Yep.
And so what are your earliest memories of those moments of like, oh, my parents do something in music?
My cousin taking me to a random studio where it's like speakers.
Wow.
And
So it's beyond church at this point. It's like, oh, this is.
Yeah, this is another world.
Yeah.
So I got introduced to that like at a young age.
So at that point did the bulb turn on at that point, or were you?
Absolutely. I was like, well, you know, I'm learning keyboard, I'm learning bass. I got the drums because that's what I started.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the studio, so I got to learn how to make a record.
Oh, snap.
So so at 2, you banging on shit at the house. 4, you got your drum set. 6, you drumming professionally in
the whole
church.
shit in church.
What age did you start learning other instruments?
I started learning like the piano. My grandmother always had a piano in the house. She plays. So I started like tinkling with it, and I didn't start taking it serious till I was like 8. Then my mother, my grandmama put me in piano lessons.
Did you like it or hate it?
Neither.
Okay.
You
So
didn't
it's just
care.
indifferent.
I just didn't care because I memorize. I play by memory, so I don't read music. So
Really?
yeah, I don't read music at all.
So you just play purely just.
If you play something right now, I can play it.
Damn it! What?
We should have brought a keyboard.
We should have had something here.
keyboard
just
or
to-
something. Yeah. Oh man.
So I memorize it.
Let me ask you this: at this age, do you realize, oh, I'm different? Like, because that's not normal. At least from maybe you can tell me, is that normal in that world?
That's not normal.
It's not normal. It's not.
So at an early age, did you know? Okay, I'm a little different than a lot of people.
Absolutely, because I wanted to learn
Gotcha.
these things, and I didn't even know why I wanted to learn them.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like,
Had
oh,
that
I want to play
interest.
bass. Oh, I want to play.
What instrument were you like? Nah, I'm cool on that. I don't even want to pick that up.
Like a trumpet, like
Really?
yeah.
I felt the same way with the
Yeah, I
trumpet.
can't do that.
Tell me what about the trumpet turns you off?
Hey, yo.
Because I know what turned me off of it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, no, please explain.
Yeah.
He's mentioned before, but I want to hear from somebody that actually does music. What didn't you like about the trumpet?
A few things, but I'm gonna just say one of them. Just the technique when it comes down to the
Amateur.
whatever that is.
It's amateur, bro. We learned that from who the fuck taught us that?
That wasn't it wasn't game. It was
It's a woman. She taught us about her amateur. But
what was that?
they told me when I picked up the trumpet, I went to band lessons, right? And I go in there and the band teacher's like, I'm like, yeah, so I just hit these motherfuckers, right? Well, I'm in like 4th grade. I didn't say motherfucker. But I'm like, I'm gonna hit these buttons or flutes or whatever they are.
They gonna change notes.
And they can change notes. That's what I'm thinking. I'm blowing into this shit and it's gonna change. He was like, no, you gotta make 7 to 13 different sounds with just your lips.
Yeah,
That's
like,
out, fool.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I bang on some shit. Like,
do that.
Yeah, like. So that turned me all the way off.
Okay.
Amateur.
The amateur,
You
yeah.
learned something new, right?
Yeah,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
cool.
Yeah. I couldn't spell that word at all. It started with an A.
Probably
But yeah, so that's what turned me off with the trumpet. So as you getting acclimated to the keys. You're learning piano. You
Right.
taking lessons. Uh,
I didn't take lessons for long neither.
You heard, exactly. Like
okay.
don't
How
play
long?
them.
How long were you in piano lessons?
2 weeks.
If that. Maybe
Are you
like-
serious?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
I did a recital, faked read the whole thing and won.
Wait.
did-
Say that. Okay, wait. Say that again.
So I did a recital, fake read the whole thing in front of me because I remembered what it sounded like and won.
So you don't know keys, notes, none of that.
I don't know how to read it.
No. I'm saying, do you know like, oh, I played this in A minor or
Oh yeah, I know that. But
Okay.
that came later.
that came later?
Yeah.
Got you.
So at that moment, when you're at this recital, you over there faking the funk, but
I'll
you
be
got it,
hot.
right? At that moment, does the instructor and people know, or is this something that you just kind of keep tucked like, oh, I got this?
It's something I keep tucked.
Wow. So at that moment, like next week, you just not showing up to rehearsal. Like, how did you go from saying, okay, I'm just gonna this is gonna be my style moving forward. Forget trying to like learn the technical way or take lessons at this point.
Well, my piano teacher said he don't need it.
Like you good.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've had 2 piano teachers, and they both said like, I told my mom like, nah, you straight.
Save your money. We're not gonna do this.
I don't
Matter of fact, you can
understand.
teach me something.
I don't understand. Okay, this is my thing, right? And I have a real issue with talented people like yourself because I don't have no natural talents. So, as you just picking shit up, do you develop an ego at 8 years old or like?
Nah. You just yearn for more. You want to be like the people you see playing bass.
Who are you looking up to at 8? Like,
Man, a lot of church musicians, and Mike Burrell, Jason White's, Andrew Goucher's,
Wow.
Jimmy Newble's. It's a lot of like I can keep going.
Musicians.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, man, that I looked up to, and that were I was able to be around. You know, everybody before YouTube and before all of this stuff, like you only seen people who was on VHSs and or DVDs.
Yeah.
And I was able to be around these people. So, and a lot of people couldn't be because they were whack.
and you the whole time faking like you could read music.
Absolutely.
When did you start coming clean? Like, okay, I can't read this shit, but I could play anything.
After my music teachers, I gave it up. I was like, yeah.
Well, I think what's important about that is that you know your style now. So it's like, and I mean, it's not a problem trying to figure out a different way. But if that works for you, it's like, why not continue and go down that path? You know what I mean?
And I like that. My biggest music teacher that I didn't have to learn how to read was my auntie. You know, she taught my cousins and me everything. Garen, my cousin Nicholas, Samuel, Julian, all of us, we had a group. And she had a studio. So she would take all of us and we would record our own songs from my little cousins on to like my bigger cousins. So she's the best teacher out of this whole situation.
Your aunt.
My auntie.
And she had a background in music?
She plays everything.
She play everything?
Everything.
Do she play the trumpet?
She don't play trumpet.
I was just saying, nigga, hey, you say she play everything.
I mean, you know,
Niggas
the
can't
basics,
figure out the trumpet.
she play the basics.
Now,
Straight up.
As you're kind of developing this, you know, you're figuring out this is what you want to do. I'm assuming that you're figuring out, okay, this is what I want to do career-wise. Are you tapping into that as of right now, or is this just I'm yearning for the music, I want to learn more, or at an early age that you know I want a profession in this, or was that something that you even thought about?
That's all I wanted to do.
Have you ever had a regular job?
Never.
Never.
See, I hate niggas like you.
I never had a regular job.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I used to clean the showers at the gym.
I
Fuck
never
you.
auditioned for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
My mama tried to make me go to Food for Less, sign this, and all these places. I'm like, nah.
That's an interesting dynamic, though, man, because this is somebody that's nurturing the talent, understanding this is what you want to do, but at the same time trying to keep you grounded as far as the real world. What were you telling her at that time to kind of like let her understand, like, no, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I want to stay on this path.
Just staying consistent, and she always, again, like she honed in on what I like.
Got it.
You know, I didn't get Jordans and stuff. I got a keyboard, some new drumsticks from the Guitar Center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the presents that I got.
Got it.
You know, so she always wanted me to like stay at it because I was good, and but she always wanted to keep me grounded and getting a real job, and I'm just like, I would never.
Yeah.
Like,
What about the outside influences? Like we talk about in the house,
Right.
like all these musical influence, your family background, all that. What
Right.
about like I know at a certain point as you becoming a teenager, adolescent, a young man, the streets get appetizing.
Oh, yeah.
Being outside get appetizing. You start moving around a little bit, learning a few things. The word, because I noticed like, especially for people who are like yourself, that's one thing I did have is the big homies and the people that are from that element would always be like, nah, this ain't for you. Stay over there. You smart. Keep going to school. Stay in sports.
Right.
That type of dynamic. What was Brody's dynamic in that way?
well, of course, I'm from Compton, and growing up in the hood, there's so many things that can distract you from staying close to your craft. But I had homies that'd tell me certain things like, keep doing what you're doing. You know, I didn't really have no hate like that because they knew that I was good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like somebody's playing football, they good at it. Ain't nobody gonna be stupid and say, nah, keep him here.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, man, get him out of here. And just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't hang with us to go play them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Is the dynamic different? No, just a random question, right? Because I hear a lot of people say that the talented ones, hey man, stay away from this because hey, you got a bright future. But what about those that are like weak, that aren't talented?
Right.
Is it the same conversation like, hey, you should stay away from that, or is it like, hey, come on, let's go.
Well, if it's like that, then that's where you got others to cling to make you
Better.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did you as you doing all of this, like you already got the drums on lock. Your piano teacher said you went less than 2 weeks, which is stupid.
Right. What was that for? Right.
What was that for? That was just a waste of time.
Right.
Then you start fucking with the guitar, right? Is that around the same time or you?
No, I start fucking with the guitar like later.
Okay.
Like in my teenage years.
Okay. So as you're playing the keys,
Right.
and you became this amazing keyboardist, which one did you like more? Because I know they start throwing you on the keys in church too.
Right.
So
I became the church organist.
right. So are you doing like, okay, I'm doing drums every other Sunday. I'm doing like what? How did that work?
Well, my cousins all play. So as they getting older, again, I'm the oldest cousin. So as they getting older, they getting good. So now, okay, Nick, you play the drums. Now he's murdering. And my auntie is like choir directing now and having me play certain songs on the organ. So it's good training is what I'm saying. Like, so when I get out here in the world, I can like execute.
Are you as good of a teacher as you are somebody that absorbs the information as well?
No.
That's interesting. So you wouldn't be able to show somebody how to play the drums.
No, teachers have patience.
Got it. So you don't have that.
Yeah, I don't. Nah, I only want to observe and learn.
Got it.
And,
All for you.
yeah, you got eyes, you got ears too, right?
Figured out like I did it too.
Bro, everybody ain't you though.
No, I'm just saying.
Everybody can just hear a sound and be like, oh, you know, that's 13 decibels below negative ground zero.
Yeah,
Like,
you right.
But it's good to know your strengths, and that is one of your strengths, and understanding like that may not be one of your strengths, teaching people to play music. That's not my thing. So
I know how, I just don't.
Wait, huh? Why not?
Because you have to be hands-on with me.
Got it.
Like I can't,
But if somebody shows you that they want it just as bad as you do, right? But they do need a little more guidance.
Then I take them.
he don't got the patience. He just told you.
But I can't have a slew of students.
Got it. Okay.
I gotta have like one out of every. Like okay.
That's the chosen one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Then when you okay, so as you progressing, did you start playing for other people, other artists? Did you start going on the road at 12? Like what the fuck?
So at 13, 14, I was initiated in a band called 1500 or Nothing.
Salute.
Facts.
At what age?
14.
Wow.
This is during Bobby Valentino days, just doing Slow Down, Tim and Bob days back in the day. Not that like back in the day, but
I got you.
Yeah. But during that time, I was skipping school. I was going to I went to Carson High.
Word.
I was going to Carson High, and I would hop gates, ditch, and I'd be with Uncle Chuck, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Uncle Chuck.
I'd be Lawrence to come get me, Mars to come get me from my mama house. So like at that time, they was around Snoop and everybody. Then.
Everybody.
Yeah, so I was like the young nigga coming up, like around them.
What was-
that I can hang.
What was the connection? Like, so were you family with one of the members, or like since you were the young dude, how did they?
Why they fuck with you?
Because I can hang with them like musically.
But I'm saying how did they get introduced to you, or who was the
I
one?
met everybody individually on different
Got you.
things, and somehow, some way, we all became this band.
Now, as the when
It's crazy.
and I remember around that time, because I was in the clubs, I think, and I remember just hearing 1,500 or nothing, 1,500 or nothing, and I was like, bro, what are you talking about? As you watching this, and you like you say, you could hang with them musically, like you could play, you could do all that. Are you at that point? Are you just sponging, or are you trying to like I want to put me in type thing?
I'm sponging.
Sponging.
Because back then, like, we was working off of MPCs. It wasn't no laptops like that. We had desktop. And so Mars, Lorenz, Chuck, James, Bam, they would all be in the studio working. And I didn't know how to work an MPC then. So during that time, I learned how to work the MPC and know how to do beats, know how to swing a beat, knowing what to play. Because as a musician, sometimes you can overplay.
Yes.
Instead of playing, like doing a record. So production-wise, 1,500 had me around that. And that's how I learned, like growing up.
And you were always the little homie.
Always a little homie.
Always a little homie. When did you feel like you got your respect in 1,500?
When I turned 18,
Oh, just straight up became an adult.
yeah, I was just like, oh, this is a perfect time to tell them I'm not a little boy anymore.
I'm a man.
How did that
Yeah.
conversation go?
It went all the way left.
You know what? Enough is enough.
Hey, yo.
How did that go?
Exactly.
What happened? You just got tired of like going to the store and shit? or-
Yeah, like all type of shit. Like I was like carrying burgers and all type of shit. I'm like, we all do the same thing. Yeah. And when I turned 18, I told him, I ain't going by Lil Chris no more. Call me Brody.
So that was the transition.
Yeah.
Well, why that? Did your family call you or?
That's what the musician world knew me as, is
Bet.
Lil Chris. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
No, I'm saying why Brody?
cause it's shit. It's
Was that a nickname coming up though? Like were
Nah.
people calling you that?
You just
Nah.
said that. You was freestyling. Just
yeah. You know, I want to be Brody Brown.
got you.
Cause Brody is just a word that everybody can remember.
Facts.
Right.
So let me not make it hard for nobody.
Facts.
Just
Okay.
Call me Brody.
I like that. And so it didn't go as expected.
It didn't.
You was still getting burgers.
I wasn't still getting burgers, but
He said they upgraded him from not doing store.
Oh, you was
run
getting
anymore.
salmon.
Nah,
you was want to get
nah.
the salmon.
Nah. I just was just like, I had to gain it. I had to gain my respect. But I
Earn
was
it.
just telling them,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Sick of this shit. 3 strikes. Sick of this shit. Nigga.
Hey, it was that.
At what moment did you feel like you started to earn that respect from him, or like do you have like maybe there was a moment that you realized like, damn, I finally arrived, so to speak, where they started treating you the way you felt like you should have been treated?
Well, at 18, I got introduced to a guy who signed me as a publisher.
Okay.
I mean, to sign me to publishing. So I was 17 and a half. My mama had to be there.
Oh, snap.
Lorenz introduced me to a guy named Steve Lindsay. Steve Lindsay signs me. I walk in the room, it's Chance, his brother. They shooting the Real Chance of Love. Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Oh snap.
They in the room with Steve Lindsay. I'm like, oh shit, this is
Stallionaires.
Yeah, the Stallionaires, straight up.
Yeah.
And Steve was like, I need to introduce you to somebody. So one night I pull up to the studio on Olympic at Palm. And it's this guy, he walks in, he got a fedora on. And he's like, what's up, man, Bruno? Wow. So at 18, at 18, me and Bruno locked in. And we started touring, doing pubs and doing all of this, little joints around the town, like for cheap, for pizza, basically, and beer. And they signed him to Electra, then. Now, Atlantic And I got my respect
At that moment.
when Nothin on You came out
With B.O.B.
with B.O.B. And that was me playing on Nothin on You.
And for the folks that's just now catching up, Bruno is Bruno Mars. You know
So
what I mean?
I want to go because this is
Go
a
straight
full
into
fade.
it, bro.
Okay, I want to stay right here. Okay, because I'm DJing, and I remember when Nothin on You dropped, and I remember everybody being like, "Man, who's this nigga B.O.B. got on his record?"
Right.
I remember that. A lot of people don't know that was the case.
Right.
They was like, "Man, who is this? What's his name? Bruno."
Nobody knew him.
Nobody knew who he was.
Right.
Song went #1 in the country. Okay. And at that moment, it was like, oh, this dude is special because the hook carries records, right? We all know music. The hook is what people know, they remember. That's what they sing. Call and response at shows, whatever.
Straight up.
And I remember like thinking to myself, like, damn, I wonder who this dude is, where he come from. He came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Like, I didn't know where he was from. I don't know his origin story. I don't know which Avenger he is. Don't nobody know, right?
Right.
Nor did we know who was working with him or behind him and stuff like that, right? So when you said you were playing what on the record?
That's me playing bass. Beautiful girl, boom, 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 boom. That's me.
Live bass.
Live bass.
And when y'all was working on that record, was it always a B.O.B. record? Was it a Bruno Mars record? Was it a 1500 record?
No, Bruno and Phil and Ari had already was writing. I think it was supposed to be for Lupe.
It was supposed to be for Lupe Fiasco.
It was supposed to be for Lupe. Lupe passed on it, and B.O.B. ended up getting it.
So for people that don't know how the music industry works, you'll shop records, right? So you'll have. So that's what I'm asking. When y'all was creating the record, it was you, other musicians, and Bruno, or how? Like, who was working on the record?
Well, Bruno is hands on with his record musically, production, everything. So it was just me, Bruno. We play music, the music guys. Ari produced, and he had his writing partner Phil. So it was only 4 people.
Wow.
Right. So the song's pretty much done. It just needed verses.
Right.
Got you. And so Lupe passed on the record, and then B.O.B. ended up taking it. Do you know how B.O.B. got the record?
Well, it went through Aaron Bayshuk and Mike Karen at Atlantic.
Atlantic, yeah.
So, and it's crazy because B.O.B. is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So somehow Bruno was writing for Atlantic artists. And that's how B.O.B. got the shit.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
And then Billionaire came.
And then Billionaire.
And that's me on Billionaire.
That's you a Billionaire.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing
Playing bass.
So Billionaire, same story. It's you, Bruno, the writer, the other writer,
Phil,
the
Ari.
co-producer.
Yep.
And y'all create Billionaire. How did Travis McCoy get it?
Because he was signed to Atlantic as well.
So y'all basically, y'all running records through Atlantic.
Atlantic, like,
We got a record here. We got a record here.
Yeah.
And then y'all place these records.
Right.
That record was huge.
yeah.
It wasn't as big as Nothin on You. Nothin on You was #1 in the country. But I'm just saying, like, for people that don't know how this shit work, that's like, I don't want you to just blow past. I think that's regular. That's not normal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where did you meet Bruno again?
At a studio. And my publishers had a studio in, Beverly Hills. And that's where all his artists, he had one studio and all his artists and pro writers would come through. And that's where I met Bruno at.
So you just happened to pull up to work
Right.
on some music.
Yeah, and Steve Lindsay introduced me to Bruno. He was like, I want you to meet somebody.
Do you have any early memories as to your first reaction to him at that? Where you guys hit it off right off the bat, or was it like, did it take some time to kind of like get used to each other?
It's both. It was like, okay, we know what we're here for.
Got it.
You know, Steve Lindsay you're talking about a dog
Yeah.
when it comes down to like knowing what we're supposed to do as songwriters and producers. So he drilled that in our head. So we both knew the assignment. But yeah, we had some bang ups because he produced one way and I produced one way.
What way do you produce that's different than how he produced?
Well, back then it was more so like I like Dr. Dre.
Of course, I'm from Compton, bro.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So my drums would be just big and his drums would just be like straight to the point, like it, but works.
Yeah.
But he is looking at the bigger picture. He's like, what's the song? What is this song? And that's why I fuck with Bruno.
So he always been. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, at what moment did you realize how that worked? Because again, initially, headbutting, kind of figuring it out. But when did you realize, okay, this works? Was it after the hits, or was it like in the midst of actually creating?
In the midst of.
And what was it that opened you up to it at that?
Just being open to like something that I'm my world. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? At the time, he was listening to a lot of Neptunes and Pharrell.
Bruno was.
Yeah. Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. Like, so that's what he would be listening, referencing like the Pharrell sounds. And I'll be referencing Dr. Dre sounds.
Damn.
So I'll just be like, ah.
So who got final say so when it was the
Bruno.
Neptunes versus Dr. Dre?
It was Bruno.
Okay. So you kind of just like, all right, you got it, champ. I'ma just
Yeah, exactly.
got you. What made you respect his musical ability?
Him as a person, and him and how he come off, like he ain't disrespectful. And it was just like, well, maybe he knows what's going on because I ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck I'm doing? Like, asking for Dr. Dre packs and shit. Like, and he's over here like, nah, just use a few sounds and let's write a record.
Damn.
It's in the record.
Yeah, it's in the record.
Has that interaction with Bruno shaped how you produce music now?
Absolutely, 100%. Going through that grinder, going through like knowing the do's and don'ts, what rules to break, and just going through that whole motion just helped me a lot when it comes down to production and songwriting.
What's a rule that you have broken as a direct result of your interaction with him?
Don't mind paying homage to what has been done already, and in that, I will always try to do something new and become creative, and it's just like, wait, why don't we just do something like this
That works.
that works?
I like that. Get to the record.
Let's get to the record, man. Y'all want to be, y'all want to be just creative. It's like, all right, yeah, that's cool, but where's the record?
Where's the record? I've been asking that for 15 years.
It's so dope that you understood that though, because a lot of people, especially artists that are hell bent on that, that's the thing that stands in the way of their success. It's like
Real life.
you wanna be this artsy, and there's nothing wrong with that,
There's
but it's
nothing wrong
like
with it.
if you're trying to make hit records,
Yeah.
it's a formula to it.
Straight up.
Now when you again,
I got a single mama at the house. I need to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hills, right. So in those moments when you're creating hit records, do you know at the moment, like with Nothing on You? Oh, I know. We know this is a smash from jump. Billionaire. We know it's a smash from jump because you hear people say that, right? There's no formula to a hit record, not formula, but like you never know which one is going to be that one that takes off. So when you're creating these ones, did you know off the bat, like?
no, we just was writing records.
Damn, just pumping them out.
Yeah, just pumping them out, just doing what felt good to us. It was that's what it was.
When you get a record that goes number one in the country, right?
Right.
What does that look like as a producer? Like, what does that look like? I know people focus on the money and shit, but what does that look like? What does that feel like emotionally? What does that look like? What does that do to you mentally? Like, what is that? A number one record in the country is something a lot of people will never experience.
Right.
So what is that picture? Paint that picture for me. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what does that look like?
It's a responsibility now. It's like, no, now you have to do this.
Got to recreate.
You gotta like try to beat yourself. So it's a mind fuck, really. Like, it's like after a number one, you think you can be like, yes, I got number one, but you're always trying to get there. And that's it's scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But what's scary about it?
Just stressing about what to do next, how to do it, how to be different. It's a thing that I heard and say, you're different if you're genreless, and that's what I wanted to be as an artist. So like knowing the do's again, like knowing the do's and the don'ts about everything, like having that in your head, like I gotta do it. So if that's the baseline on this, then it's like, how
Overthinking it.
Yeah, you overthink a lot.
What does the first accolade look like for you? Like, is it adulation from your peers? Is it an award? Is it a big check? what's the first thing where you like, yes,
The first thing, some money,
some money.
seeing a check come in my mailbox, and you know, and the first one is small, the second one is a little bigger, and then the third one is, you know, it just grows after that, as long as you keep writing songs.
When you got the biggest check, and we don't need to know the dollar amount, but when you got the biggest check,
Right.
what's the first thing you thought?
I got to get a bigger check.
Wow. So you're constantly chasing that next.
Yeah, it's like,
The bigger.
oh, yeah, as stressful as it may be, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you know, I'm tapped into, you know, the greats. I'm sitting in front of two greats. I'm tapped in with, you know, 1,500 or nothing. You know, for a nigga like me being from Compton, the east side of Compton, though, you know, that's across the train tracks. So, like, we don't get these opportunities, you know. Honestly, all we had was Coolio.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, so just that type of inspiration, getting outside of getting on the 105 and going across the 110 freeway is like a big leap for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They won't even leave and go to the beach.
Facts. A lot of people don't leave their neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
After you get this success, your first 3 big purchases, what are they?
My first 3 purchases is a car.
Okay.
Was it something just to get you by, or was it just something just to show?
It was something to show, but it was only a Tahoe.
Oh,
Ain't
okay.
nothing
I was
wrong-
about to say.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was about to say, don't do that. It was a little 5 series.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no. It was like a 2010 Tahoe or something like that.
Okay.
And it was in my mama's name. So
Okay.
Like, and then Robin Hood gave me some rims. My manager gave me some rims to put on the Tahoe. So I was like, oh yeah, this is for sure.
We here.
It was like black, all black.
Okay.
That's my first purchase. And then, damn, I don't remember nothing else. Maybe my Rolex.
Okay.
And that was it, really.
So you went and got a car and a Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
And at what point did you like, okay, I got to do something. I got to do something more with this, or did somebody advise you? Like how did you start to pivot into like, okay, I need to secure my financial future by doing other things, or have you even got there?
Well, my son did that for me.
That's what. Okay. That's usually what do it.
Yeah, my son did that for me. So I was just like, oh, I have to keep doing this.
Mouth to feed.
Yeah,
I have a responsibility at this
Yeah,
point.
it's amazing.
At
So-
what point did you when did you when did you become a father?
I became a father at 21.
21.
And that's when Grenade,
It's popping.
that's when all the Bruno shit went crazy. So I got nominated at 21. And I got signed at 18. So, you know, it took me 3 years to get to the Grammys. And at 19, I worked with Heavy D,
Rest in peace.
rest in peace, for the Vibes album, and I got Grammy nominated. It was a reggae album. So I was 19 doing that.
Okay, so look, we gonna come back to the fatherhood shit, but listen. Okay, so y'all, Nothing on You came out,
Right.
went crazy.
Right.
Then y'all did Billionaire,
Right.
went crazy. So at what point did you and Bruno like, we need to keep doing this shit together? Or was that a conscious thought, or
Well, guess what?
who came up with the play?
After Nothing on You dropped and after Billionaire dropped, he got signed to Atlantic
As an artist,
as an artist.
correct.
And they was just like, let's focus on Bruno now. And that's when we knew. Like,
So, but I'm saying, so the label, so you're saying that I don't believe that it's just like, oh, the label put us together.
oh no, the label didn't put us together. He chose to be like, hey, Brody, I'm with Atlantic,
Pull up.
pull up. Let's keep working. I'm just like, okay.
And did y'all create all of these records in the studio, or like
In the studio every time.
every time?
Yep.
Okay.
So in your mind at this moment, because okay, you go just to kind of backtrack a little bit. You go from Lil Chris to Brody Brown, right? You get the situation where you get signed,
Right.
and now you hit records. Bruno gets signed.
Right.
Where are you as an artist at this moment? Like where are you mentally? Are you like, okay, I gotta get this going so I can get my artist shit popping too? Or is it like, no, I'm cool where I'm at, the position I'm at, I'm cool playing the background, doing what I gotta do? Where are you at mentally at that?
There, I'm cool with playing the background right
Okay.
now. And because at that time, You know, we was doing shows too. I was not only producing with him, but I was his music director at one point. So we'll be doing, now we doing Vegas instead of pubs. You know, now we doing.
For pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Now we on Jay Leno, now we on Ellen. Now we on George Lopez. Now we at SNL, you know, performing the songs that we wrote on stage.
Yeah.
You know, basically. And I've always been the back. And I wasn't never thinking about being an artist then.
Got it. Okay. That's important to know.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people, that's where egos and issues kind of come in, because either secretly or deep down, they want to be the person that's in front. So I was going to ask you, how did you deal with the success of your partner?
Right.
You know, where were you at mentally? But you were cool playing the background.
I was grateful.
Grateful.
Got you.
I like that.
I was very grateful. Like, you know, what I'm
Life
saying?
changing.
Yeah, it's like something I can do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an Indian. I like to work, whatever it is, straight up. But I didn't start thinking that I wanted to be an artist until like, I guess I got a little older and would start thinking like, wait a second, like the artist is getting, you know, noticed by doing the songwriter, Neo, Akon,
Carrie
Hilson, like everybody doing
The Dream.
The Dream.
Yep.
Everybody doing their thing, and I'm just like,
I can do that too.
I'ma try.
Yeah.
You know,
So but were you co-writing? You were co-writing the songs with Bruno at that time, or you didn't start writing the records until later?
No, I was co-writing then.
You was co-writing back then.
Absolutely.
Got you. So you already had the sauce. You just had to apply it.
Exactly.
All right.
To the right situations.
So when you became a father, that's when you felt like, I need to step my shit up another notch.
Exactly.
Got you. Exactly. And then I mean, I would assume that as you became a father, it's like my responsibilities increase.
Oh my God.
So were you thinking only financial, or were you thinking like creatively, I need to expand too? Is that an artist decision or that's a monetary decision?
Well, at that time, how can I say this? At that time, I think I thought I knew enough to sustain musically. So now that I got the mental capacity to put down what I've learned all these years. I need something out of it.
So you want to get paid? You time to get paid?
It's time to get paid. I learned this shit. How
Give me
can
the
I
dollars.
do it? Yeah, how can this do it? How can we do this? So it was really about that.
Okay.
I don't want to shy away and act like I ain't shallow.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the creativity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But it was so heavy on me because growing up, I couldn't get everything I wanted.
No, I mean that's a key motivator right there.
So it's like, okay, Mom, let me go out here, so you don't have to worry about nothing.
Let me go get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
And then as you became, like I know it's hard for, I'm not a dad, I'm not a parent, but I know it's hard for parents to balance the work life. The work life. It's always, am I spending enough time? Am I doing this?
Yeah, man. I don't know why. I think it comes with it. It sucks, but I'm always a studio home guy. I don't go to in between nothing. You know, I might stop at like Chick-fil-A or something, but
To get something for the kids too.
exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Nuggets,
Like,
man.
but I'm a studio and home guy. Always have been. You know, unless 1500, you know, we go out.
Yeah.
But that's what I've always been.
Do you think that, I guess it's a weird question, but do you feel like people who can, like, do you feel like you have to give up one to fuck with the other?
No, I don't feel like that. As long as you got your affairs in order, I think cause communication for the house,
Yeah.
you straight. You know, this is what I do. You know,
And you have support a family.
yeah, it's like I don't have a 9 to 5. I got like a 24, 12 to 12.
Right.
Type
And this
of
comes
job.
with it.
Yeah, it comes with it. The distance come with it. The absence come with it. But I can't say like I don't feel like I've been absent like that
Yeah.
with my kids. So
That's good to know. I mean, because you hear these stories, you hear the balance, but a lot of times you hear the struggle side of it. It's like, man, I'm not getting enough time with it.
right, it has felt like that. Like it felt like a week go by, but I never did like longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
Even when you're on the road? I was gonna say, bro, you be on the road.
No, I'm saying like while I'm here.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah. I've never just go a week without going home.
Got you.
I might do 2 days or something.
What dad advice could you give for those fathers, or just fathers in general, just something that you picked up on from fatherhood that you apply just as being a man and that you can give to other fathers out there?
Honestly, just keep like stay down. Stay down with your kids, whatever, your daughters, your sons, no matter what. I mean, it ain't easy. You know, ain't no manual to people when they grow. You gotta study them as they study you. That's the best advice. Like, keep studying your child because they growing.
Yeah, that's one thing that I learned. I only got one. I got another one on the way, but it's not that I had the impression, but I thought it's like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. But I keep forgetting as they, like you said, as they grow.
Nah.
You know, the first 6 months is gonna look different than the next 6 months.
Exactly.
And in my case now, it's like every few months, every year, it's a different kid.
It's wild.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? And it's like the thing that I thought, oh yeah, I got a good rap on this is completely changing. You know what I mean? Now for you have sons and daughters?
I have sons and daughters.
So which one for you was more challenging, raising sons or raising daughters? Or what is more challenging for you? Or is it more challenging?
I don't think it's more challenging because, you know, I know enough to know about what girls may go through. And I know enough to know what, you know, boys may go through. And I treat everything as if, I treat all of them the same, basically. Okay. So it's not like, they know what and what not to do. So it's not like a struggle. Are you the strict dad or you, oh man, Pop's gonna let me do this? I'm strict, but I'm loving though. Okay. Like, I don't be like on no military bullying and gotcha. Yeah, it's like. The oldest one is how old? 12. And the youngest about to be 12. And the youngest one is 4. From 4 to 12, which is for you specifically? What's the most difficult age as of right now to 4. Deal with? 4. I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping. Well, I don't want to say difficult, but he is turned.
He turned.
He turned. Well, he about to be 4.
Yeah, bro.
He about to be 4. He's turned.
So when you struggling. You get in from the studio 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
He up.
It's up.
He up at
it's up.
6, 7.
Sometimes, but he know like at this point, like, bro, you gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, daddy ain't going for it.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. It's too much. And my mom's, you know, his mom, they all help out.
Facts.
It's good to have that village.
Hell sure. Yeah, because if you didn't,
you whooped.
It's a wrap.
I remember one day he came to work so tired.
Bro.
It was just like, bro, the boy was just up. He was just
for no
turned
reason.
Up. For
no reason.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like, why?
But he's so smart.
Man, get that nigga a drum set.
All of them smart. He like painting and.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, he like that.
Wow.
He's very artsy. So
do you cultivate that talent the same way moms did to you?
No.
Why not?
I don't. My kids don't even know I got an album out right now.
Okay. So do your kids know who you are?
No.
What do they think you do all day?
What the fuck you mean? My kids don't know who I am at all.
So what do they think daddy does?
Just music.
So there's never been a time where you've been riding along and the song comes on and you don't...
You know what? They see me in 24 Karat Magic video.
What you doing in here? I mean, do they ask you? Like, well, how does that play out?
They still are confused because they never seen me do it.
They never saw you play music ever?
They never seen me in
the studio?
No.
Live?
No.
So wait, do you intentionally keep that?
No, hold on. Yeah, ask that again. Ask that again.
Do you intentionally keep your kids away from the music or the business or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Why?
Because not like that. This is what I do. Y'all do whatever y'all gonna do. You one of them? Yeah, I am. Like,
you know what? Like Shaq. Like, Shaq said, "I'm rich.
Yeah.
Y'all not rich."
Yeah, leave me alone. I ain't got time for this. Wait, so you know how hard I work to get here? So here, pass the torch, son and daughters. Nah.
No. Did you see that? What he meant that?
Watch out.
So what if they showed interest in music?
Then. Yeah, say, Daddy, I want a keyboard, and then I'll listen. But nah, y'all
how they gonna know if they don't know that you do that though?
It's a lot.
So let's say you in there making your magic, you know what I'm saying, creating hit records, FaceTime go off. Are you answering in the studio while the shit is on, or do you walk out like?
I do answer it in the studio.
Okay.
But they never hear the music.
Turn that shit off.
You intentionally, consciously stop the music and then talk
Exactly.
because you don't want them exposed to the music.
Exactly.
Wow. I've never heard that before.
Absolutely.
This is a homegrown first. I don't think I've ever heard that before. So
they be like, Dave, can we go to the studio with you?
Nope.
Nah, nope.
Well, at least they know that you go to the studio then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have been at the Michael Jackson studio, Westlake, before, but just a tour. And then, all right, y'all got to
Get out. Y'all got to go.
Yeah.
They got to make some hits.
Absolutely.
that's so interesting.
Amazing.
I don't have no plaques up at the house.
Really?
I was going to say,
Do you ever make music at the house?
I don't make music at the crib.
So the house is boring.
Dry.
Time out.
This nigga's crazy.
Where are the 8 Grammys?
The 9 Grammys.
Like, sorry, my bad.
The 9 Grammys is at my mama's house.
Word.
Yeah, mama, keep this over here. I don't want to wake up and look at plaques and be like, I did it. I want to keep going. Like, all right, I don't have nothing. Like,
Do you have to do so? That's an extreme. Like that's like people who can't have certain foods in the house because they'll overconsume it.
Right.
That's like it's placing yourself on a regimen, holding yourself accountable.
Exactly.
Have you ever? Is that in response to you've gotten complacent before, where you got comfortable, kicked your feet up, like okay, I got
absolutely.
This. Okay, so that's it's a trauma response.
It's a trauma response.
My nigga.
I would never do that again.
Talk about that moment when that happened and when did you realize, like, okay,
I'm tripping.
I'm tripping.
Doing lean back in the day, like I just buying a bottle of lean and just losing it.
Just going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. And then losing it all.
You lost everything.
Yeah, I lost everything like 3 times.
What you okay? Is that because of like addiction or is that because of just bad choices?
Just bad choices. I was never like an addict, but just knowing like, all right, bro, you doing too much.
Too much what though? You said you go to the studio and you go home. What were you doing?
Too much Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Too much Chick-fil-A.
Too much Chick-fil-A with sauce.
With the sauce.
With the
Got
sauce.
it. I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so you was out here wilding.
I was out here wilding. Now I didn't lose my family. You know, I never lost my house and stuff like that. But I was losing my mind.
What do you think was the cause of that though? You think it all came too fast? You got signed at 18, got a Grammy.
I dropped out of high school, so I never finished high school. I dropped out 10th grade, first semester.
To this day.
To this day.
Would you go back?
I never went back to high school.
Would you go back to finish? Would you to complete a GED,
Nah.
further education?
Nah.
So what's gonna be that conversation when your kids, you know, the one that's 12 now,
Right.
getting into school, getting into high school, and they say the same thing. I'm cool on. I don't want to finish.
Well, it's not what you want to do. It's what you gonna do. You know, you're not about to be me. What you thought?
How can they be you if they don't get a chance to go to the studio? I'm sorry. Let me ask you this: is the 12-year-old the artsy one?
No, the 4-year-old.
4-year, okay. I'm wondering because of, are there things that you're nurturing the 12-year-old with in terms of like, is he showing interest in what he wants to do?
Football.
Okay.
You want to be a gamer?
So we've said, Daddy, I want to start a YouTube channel.
Go ahead, do all
But
that.
no, I'm gonna drop out of school. I don't want to do that because
no.
I seen Daddy do it. Daddy's successful.
Just do homeschool.
So you give him an alternative.
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point.
Like, you know, if you don't want to be around people, just say that.
At what point? At what point would you be okay with him dropping out?
I wouldn't be okay with none of them dropping out
Why not?
because y'all not paying no bills.
What if they start making money?
No.
I'm saying no. The gamer, the 12-year-old gamer, he's Mr. Beast in it. He's doing this. He's making money now.
Well, you still have to homeschool.
No, but he's making
They're making
$100,000
money.
a month
It's
on
cool.
YouTube.
The checks is.
100,000 on YouTube. Nah.
Why not?
Just finish school,
No,
bro.
you didn't do it. Daddy didn't do it.
I know. But I had to go to adult school. I had to go to night school. I had to go, you know
But
what I'm saying?
you finished?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I want to see how this conversation is gonna play out.
Nah. If my son is making $100,000 a month and he not even in high school yet,
Just on YouTube.
Yeah, you're gonna do homeschool.
Got you. So school is non-negotiable.
School is non-negotiable.
Okay.
You have to go to school.
Okay.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
gonna be interesting, man. That's
All right.
that's an
So
interesting conversation.
I think this is okay. I want to.
I love it though.
This is amazing conversation. I want to get to you transitioning from the background, like you said, you was cool with that, to okay, I got kids, I want to make some money. The artist is making this, and that.
Right.
I want to get to but low key, producers can make just as much as the artist from the music.
From the music.
It's not the touring and
Exactly, the merch.
so you want to monetize your brand.
Exactly.
So
It's Brody Brown.
So is that the motivation for you becoming an artist?
Exactly.
Got you.
That's the motivation, 100%.
Okay. So then when you start dropping music, what's the direction in that? Like you was a music director for Bruno at one point. You produced all these huge records. When you sit down and decide Brody Brown as an artist, what does that look like musically?
An experience of it's like a blast from the past. Really, like, again, I like things that have been done the right way already. So I'm not gonna, it's only 12 notes in the keyboard on the keyboard. It's like, and they've all been played so many different ways. I don't want to be coming in. I don't want to come in and be like, all right, this is how you do it, when somebody did it the right way and I can learn from it. So my music and me as an artist is like, you're gonna get this experience when you listening to it of good sonically sounded music. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like shitty. All my highs is clean. My lows is you can play it in your car at 0.
That's what the direction you decide. Now, when it comes to, because you do like you have melody, your music is melodic.
Right.
Your music were you rapping at one point, full out just bars? What did you always want to do melody when it came to Brody Brown as an artist?
I was rapping at first.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So what prompted you to do melody? How do you decide?
Because I knew what was my strong sides, and growing up in church, singing was a thing. You know what I'm saying? My daddy rapped.
Got you.
So I knew that melody always wins.
Facts. That's a fact.
It always wins. You can't say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You gotta be A, B, C, D. You know what I'm saying? It just wins.
Yeah.
Got you. So you approach the music the same way you approach producing the records. Like, we need to. What's the shit that's gonna work?
What's gonna work?
Got you. I love that.
Now, I want to kind of dive into the album a little bit. The Kickback, which is out right now. You say something. One of my favorite songs, by the way, is "My Life." Love that record, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Uncle Chuck, as well.
At the end, yeah.
You say something in there. You said money changes energy. Where were you at when you came up with that? What experiences were you thinking about to kind of like paint that picture?
Well, when you start getting money and you never had it, and then you start experiencing great things with people because you have it, a lot of energy change. Get straight to it. You might get hated on, or somebody want to be you. You might get robbed. So that line really came from like what really happened in real life. And money do change the energy. Money change the energy with your family. Money change the energy with your friends, even your coworkers sometimes. So I try to be real cool, because I don't want to come off like I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
I've always been just smiles, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no problems. I don't want no issues with nobody. But a lot of them change. I had to get rid of a lot of relationships and friendships. It changes.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to you being who you are.
Yeah, a lot of times you hear money changes people, but it's really that as somebody that has the money, it's like, no, the people change around you. They change what they think your perception should be.
Yep.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Which is an interesting dynamic, just to kind of like when you say it out loud, it's like, for somebody to expect you to, somebody expects you to change, and their perception of you is different because you got money. It's like, I didn't change at all. It's y'all.
Yeah, maybe the things around me
Yeah.
changed, but I'm still me.
It's the same old person.
I'm still the same me.
Yeah.
The Kickback is something that we identify with out here. Like that's some West Coast LA shit.
And that's what I wanted.
And I feel like I think that not enough attention has been paid to that because a Kickback is not necessarily a party.
Exactly.
It's an atmosphere.
It's an atmosphere, and that's the experience that I want.
Right. So when I'm listening to it, I get it immediately.
Right.
I immediately understood it, and I'm listening to it, and it's not like I'm gonna just use two extreme examples, right? So it's not like my type of party,
Right.
Dom K. Like Dom Kennedy's My Type of Party to me is not a party song. It's an atmosphere record. You hear it at a Kickback.
That's my joint too.
Right? But it's not tell me when to go.
Right, exactly.
Either.
Exactly.
It's not doom. It's not niggas going dumb and
right.
It's, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like hella turned down either.
Right.
So to me, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Tight.
From a marketing standpoint and sonically it matched. And you rarely get that.
Right.
I know somebody, I'm not gonna say who it is, but they put out a song called like a West Coast or something like that. And it had nothing to do with the West Coast. It's 70 BPM. It was hella samples, musical, and it was just like, anyway.
Name something else.
Name something else.
Right. Yeah, like West Coast.
Right.
Like, so I just felt like as I'm listening to it, it put me in that mind state of, oh, I used to go to Kickbacks. I don't go no more. I'm grown. But when we was going to Kickbacks, this is what it felt like.
Right.
And that's what the music is.
Good looking, bro, because that's what I wanted to give off.
Yeah.
You know, straight to the point, bop, Kickback music.
Yep. And then I already sent you my 3, but I think Wizard is like, it's one of them records. Like I was like, yeah, that shit's good. It's good.
Voila.
Yeah. Like some Snoop shit. Yeah.
And then the RJ.
Got off
Oh
too.
yeah, he got off.
RJ is literally, and I can't say he is my favorite because I don't want to piss everybody off, but RJ is one of my favorite rappers ever
in real life
from California.
Yes.
Ever from California.
And that's why I specifically asked. I didn't go out. He was like he's the first person I asked for.
Really?
Like to see if he could do it and like, cause I fuck with RJ.
Me too. And I think that, anyway, I just wanted to commend you on that because I felt like the atmosphere, like I understood it. Right. It was a whole picture. Because I remember when Bino dropped Outside, was it Outside? It was called Outside, I think. When he dropped Outside, it felt like that to me.
Right.
Everything, the marketing, the branding, the sound of it. It was him and Blast. It felt like, oh, this is what it's like to be outside on a Saturday.
Exactly.
And you know, everybody washing cars or whatever. It just, to me, it's some LA shit, and I fuck with it. You know what I mean? When you approach this project, though, it's different than your other shit. That was intentional.
It was all intentional.
Okay, walk me through that, because I didn't like your other shit at first, and I told you.
You told me this.
I told you.
This nigga's crazy. He hates me.
Wait, I want to know what you told him.
I just told him it was cool. It was like, it was cool.
But that was my first time release. Like,
I'm the musical prodigy. That was my first time off the court. Nigga, you got no one records. I don't want to hear that shit. What? Make the shit.
No, but it's
give us the shit.
We hold you to a higher extent at that point.
Fact.
So it's like you making the hits. What? Make the hits.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but to your point, how do you take feedback? How do you take criticism? Whether it's people you respect or not, like when that feedback comes back from a DJ head or somebody on the gram or the comments, like, are you naturally receptive to it, or
he pay attention?
Oh
pay attention?
Yeah. I suck it in. I just be like, all right, for sure. I take it as a lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not saying that because there are opinions, and then there's facts.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna listen to the facts, and I know how to decipher like which ones is. You know what I'm saying? But I got one opinion, and I almost thought it was true. And, you know, Wizard, you know, somebody said that Wizard wasn't it. And made me think, like, well, if it ain't it, then why did I do it? What did I do this record for? Like, dang, I made something whack. I might as well hang it up.
I ain't never heard you make nothing whack.
Right.
I ain't never heard
Well,
you.
I took it as whack. So criticism.
Criticism.
yeah,
Gotcha.
criticism.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, it's whack.
So you're a harsh critic on yourself.
Very
So
much
somebody
so.
says it's not it, you would take that as, oh, I'm whack.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
But I like that you channel that into like, oh, I need to get better.
Exactly.
Like oh, I got the drums, I need to learn the keys. Oh, I got the keys, I need to learn the bass.
Exactly.
So I like that. That's gonna continue to fuel you. Like
It's fuel.
You going through, and to me, that's why I want to get to the bottom of how you are at the house, because you taking all your Grammys out of the house. Because people want to see that shit. I got my plaques up in my office right now at the house, but I do it in the reverse. I'm looking at it like, man, this ain't shit. I need more.
You need more.
Right. Versus, I don't have to remove it for me to get there.
But it's never been in my house. So, my first plaque, but you know what? It was in my apartment when I had my son. I had got a platinum plaque, and I did hang up the platinum plaque. But at a point, I was just like, I need more. So and then I didn't never, during the 2012. Mm-hmm. What they say, the world was gonna end in 2012 or something.
Yeah.
So I panicked then. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, let me just get this to my mom in case something happens.
Damn.
And so every time I get something.
If the world and your mom not gonna be,
yeah, but I mean,
At
here,
least you
Mom,
got it.
at least you got something. Look, this is what I've done thus far.
Hold on to this.
Hold on to this. And every time I just be like, oh, let's get it to my mama.
I am proud of your progression as an artist. Dog.
Thank you.
And I think that the melody shit.
Straight up.
I think the melody and you being able to do that, and the same thing I told RJ, capitalize on that shit, because everybody can't do their own hooks.
Right.
It's a conversation I had with Nip. It's a conversation I've had with all these different people. It's like, bro, like, let somebody do the hook.
Right.
You don't have to do all the hooks. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
The homie AV from Compton. Like, different people, it's like, bro, you don't have to do all your hooks. Like, you can have other people do the hooks. But real quick, for the people that don't know, because it's 19 Grammys. You fucked that up.
No,
No,
19,
nigga. Hold
9.
on. I said 8. It's 9.
It's 9
You're right,
Grammys.
my bad.
It's 9 Grammys. Your discography is crazy, but give me just a quick rundown off the top of your head of the records that you've worked on, touched, produced on, wrote on, whatever.
Man.
That's when you put the Jeopardy music in here.
Yeah. So you got
Now I'm gonna have PB do the
Bing! Put like all the Grammys next to it.
I mean, I worked on 24 Karat Magic. I worked on Cee-Lo's Fuck You. I worked on Snoop and Wiz's Young, Wild and Free. I did Nipsey Hussle's with Mike and Keys and Lorenz. Last time that I checked. I did Martians and Goblins with Game, Tyler the Creator, and Lil Wayne. I don't know.
Just keep going, bro.
Ain't the pressure.
Leave the door open.
Leave the door open.
Come on now. I want to hear the Cee-Lo story. How did that record, the Fuck You, come about?
Oh man, he came in the studio. He sat down. He was with Gipp. He was with Big Gipp, Goody Mob, straight up. They walked in the studio and Bruno already had the hook. So Bruno wrote on that,
Right. That's yeah.
Bruno already had the I see you driving around town with a girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. And then him and Cee-Lo start going back and forth with the Atari lines. Phil came in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I pity the fool. Yeah. And at that time, Bruno was writing bridges too.
Wow.
So, and I'm a bridge guy. I like bridges, you know what I'm saying? That's an old song, but it's good. And he said, Brody, take us to church on the bridge. And so I wrote the whole bridge music on Fuck You. He said, take us to church, and I took him to church.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. He said, take us to church, Brody.
On a song called Fuck You.
On a song called Fuck You.
How do you explain that to moms?
and Cee-Lo ripped it in one day. He sat down.
Get out of here.
He wasn't standing up. He sat down and ripped it, and then he's like, I'll be back.
Like it's nothing.
For real?
Yeah. It was that quick. A lot of those records was happening quick, though. Like, as far as, like, getting them placed, that was happening, like, like, okay, we did this song. All right, let's get this to Travi. All right, cool. We did this song. All right, let's get. It was happening like quicker than most.
So is that an indicator that this is going to take off, or does that happen Does that happen in cases where something gets placed fast and it just doesn't really do well?
Sometimes it doesn't do well.
Okay.
But it's like the lessons that we learned, we know how not to lose.
Got it.
That grin is crazy. That grin
it's almost as evil as that laugh on the intro that you got.
Bro,
Like
the smile, the smile, because the thing is, the smile is not attached to what you said. The smile is attached to the thought you had that you didn't say.
Exactly.
He's like,
you know what I'm saying? I see that shit, fool. I can see that. I know what you're doing.
Oh, man.
He's like, no, we know how not to lose.
I'm just saying, like, it's gems. It's gems. It's like little, like, sacred, like, things that you may not even like the records I do, is what I'm saying. But we ain't losing.
We ain't losing.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you?
I want to know what advice you give to those. Like, what would you say to Lil Chris now? What would you say to little Chris that's transitioning to Brody Brown?
Who getting burgers?
Who's getting burgers? Like, what would you tell that early day Lil Chris? What advice would you give to that artist?
I would say to my younger self, basically, keep doing what you're doing. Stay out the streets. Don't buy lean. Wear condoms.
That sounds like sound advice to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me ask you this. What's the most amount of money you spent on lean?
I was spending like $800 every like 3 days.
For how long?
For wow, like maybe a year.
Are you serious? You said 8 every.
I'm not gonna do the math. What I want to know
carry
is,
the 1.
carry the 8. At what point did you say, okay? Like, what was that moment for you where you
When
realized
people were dying off of it?
Who was the last person you saw where you cut it out?
Oh man,
Was somebody close to you, or was somebody that we famous?
it's famous. Just
Oh,
hearing the news,
stories of
the
drug,
stories of
yeah.
like, and knowing that it's liquid heroin.
Facts.
So it didn't take me like 2 years and 3 years and 4
Yeah.
years, like, but it was an expensive drug that I would put in my Sprite.
I remember we had Mozzie on before he kicked the cup, and he said, I think Mozzie said he spent like 200 in 1 year.
Golly, I mean, I probably ain't done that, but it's
Like 200,000 on drugs is just in any amount of years is crazy to me. So
I don't think nobody sets out to spend that type of money. You
and
just
then
look
it went
back.
up, so it was going to 1,100 a bottle, 8 ounces.
twice a week.
Like twice a week.
Fuck.
Because I have 8 ounces, and that'll last me like, because I sip alone, so my bottle lasts.
Yeah.
You know, not that it was a good thing. But
Yeah.
I know how to conserve my shit.
yeah, I know how to conserve myself, so I didn't go over it, but I had withdrawal, so that made me kick it.
How bad was the recovery or withdrawal from it? Like,
I thought I was gonna die.
for real?
Yeah, because you don't eat, like, your appetite is gone. You throwing up nothing. It's like, what is it? Acid
reflux.
reflexes. Like,
So you just stomach lining, just all.
yeah. It's the worst.
Now it makes sense. On Run It Up, you said I had some dark days, but I'm still
I'm
shining.
still shining.
Wow.
Straight up.
Wow.
So I've been through it. A lot of people won't know, but now they know because
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's good.
important.
It's important. It's a part of your testimony. It's who you are. And I think with social media now, we all see the highlights. Nobody sees the dark times.
Right.
So for you to speak on that and showing how you bounce back for that, I
Yep.
think that's very important that people know that that's a part of your story.
Yeah.
Now, it was also a part of your story, your government name,
Yep.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
How does that work?
I went to Paris with Chris Brown when I was 18. So I
Light flex.
Yeah, that's my boy. Shout out to Chris Brown. But I was being called CB2 on the road.
Oh, you didn't like that.
Not only did I not like it, girls would come to my room thinking that.
Oh, because you didn't have an alias. You Chris Brown on the.
I'm Chris Brown, and for real, he has an alias.
So girls is popping up. I mean,
Ding. I'm like, where's Chris? Goodbye.
I'd be like, I'm
did nobody ever stay?
I'm Chris.
Maybe once, it's like,
Like fuck it, you'll do.
Yeah, like,
you kind of look like him with glasses on. You know what I'm saying?
If I squint like
If I
this,
squint and move my leg, you look like you fuck it.
Yeah, they stay, and I end up like just be like, yeah, man. It's become a therapy session.
CB2.
Oh,
CB2.
man.
Did that? That's funny as hell.
It's amazing.
To be on tour with Chris Brown. Your name was Chris Brown.
Yeah, bro. I remember the first day we was at rehearsal at Center Stage, he had come ask me like, well, what's your name? And I'm like, Chris Brown.
No, for real.
Yeah, like we was like 18. You know what I'm saying? This was when not exclusive. The first album was out. When he was doing all that stuff. We did Tyra Banks. We went to Paris. We went to Frankfurt, Germany. Man. I used to play for Chris. I used to play bass for Chris.
How many countries have you been to?
I've been, not continents, countries, right?
Countries.
I've been to.
Damn, wait, time out.
Yeah, I know.
Even
just
that's
let
flex
him.
right
Just let him go. Let him cook.
I've been to at least 20, like 25 countries.
What's your favorite and least favorite?
A lot of them I don't remember. But my favorite country is America. No, I'm just playing.
That's cap.
My favorite country is I like London, like Europe.
Yo, okay. Shout out to the UK.
Yeah, I like it over there. Like when you get to like Japan and Abu Dhabi and like all of that stuff, it get tricky because you can't smoke over there.
Shit.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
Come on, straight up.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Hey,
I mean, we always break the rules,
bro. Now,
Right,
okay,
look.
so look, we just gonna have a conversation real quick.
Yeah.
You see what happened with Brittany Griner?
I did.
Now I know for a fact that y'all niggas was wilding on tour.
Absolutely.
Wilding.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is it worth it?
It's definitely worth it.
Wow.
But again, Brittany Griner was going to Russia, right?
Yes.
With pens.
Yeah.
No, hide it. You know, like, did they find it? Did she hide it at least?
I don't think she.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would have. I think it was in her bag.
It's called smuggling. Nobody know how to smuggle no more.
I don't
Weird,
have a comment.
Brody.
I don't know
what you
nothing
talking
about none of that. We gonna go ahead and wrap this shit up. This nigga tripping.
Yeah.
So,
Kickback. That's what
the kickback is out right now.
Wait, hold on. Is this what you mean when you said we don't take orders, we take risks?
Absolutely.
All right.
What do you think the greatest risk is you've ever taken?
The greatest risk I've ever taken? Wow, I never thought about that. I think the greatest risk I've ever taken has been dropping out of school. Disappointing my family. Disappointing my grandmother and the people that invested into me.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you go back and just get that degree for him? Or that little diploma?
I don't know. I'm
telling you, look, you got older kids than me. But I'm telling you right now, some dad advice for you, I feel like that shit's gonna bite you in the ass.
It probably will.
Oh, you gonna have that? You gonna have that conversation at some point. One of your kids is going to have that conversation.
It probably will.
I didn't do it.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
You don't go to school, you gotta move.
Damn.
Straight up.
Love you. Straight up.
Gotta move.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, okay. Something we didn't touch on, I want to touch on it real quick is being a band member, 1500 and nothing, obviously. You're not the little homie. You Brody Brown. You fully a grown-ass man. You done talked about you've been in all these countries, this and that. What's the hardest part about being in a group? Because we have artists that you have duos. They break up. Right. We just see what happened with different groups that they break up. What's the hardest thing from your perspective about being in a group?
Then or now?
In general.
In general, the hardest thing about being in a group is knowing how to move. Like for an example, I'm gonna just keep it elementary. Roommates.
Facts. Everybody hygiene. Ain't
Run that back.
Like, what's going on is that, everybody moody, everybody missing their family, on tour, and like, it's a lot. Some person may not have the money right now, and you got to cover them, like vice versa. So I've been in countries where I couldn't even. My mama had to. What is it? Western Union.
Yeah. Yep.
Had the Western Union me some money.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
yeah, until I get my per diem. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So like, I've been in London and Paris, like
Stuck.
That's
Yo,
the
let me
big
hold
risk.
something.
That's the risk of why I do this. Like, I know I'm gonna get rewarded or later.
I feel that.
Later, like, 'cause I'm persistent. That's what I was taught. Like, just be persistent. Don't let none of this shit fuck you up. And
The people, I remember having T-Pain on the show, and T-Pain talked about how he gave all these people hit records.
Right.
Didn't charge them.
Right.
Didn't hit them for nothing. Like, didn't hit their budget. He just gave. He had records that was for him. He gave the sauce away, and he can't even get these people on the phone. When now that you're here and you're a Brody Brown and I'm an artist putting out music as an artist, right? Mm-hmm. How do you go about getting favors, features, stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Calling people, asking for, hey, can I get a verse? Can I get a hook? Can you pull up and work with me on this, or whatever the case may be? Have you dealt with that, or how do you plan to handle that?
I try not to go down that road, really. Like, when it comes down to, you talking about features?
Features, guest, people even co-producing, co-writing.
All right, cool. Well, with features, I don't like being rejected. So
you don't even ask.
Yeah, I don't ask. And I base who I ask off of my intuition of people who I think would want to be involved with what I'm doing. No, when it comes down to songwriter and producers, same thing. It's kind of like, like, I got to vibe with you. That's how I take it. I got to vibe with you, and again, going back to RJ, it's like I said, I could have asked any of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Our peers, at least. You know what I'm saying? But I know who would have smacked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need RJ. So I hit up Lemmy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I need Bino. Mm-hmm. Hit up Bino. Blast got on the record.
Yep.
Buddy got on some records. I had India Love. And this new artist, IMC, she dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was her first time releasing something on a major record label, so that was good. Putting like not like the grandiose, so like, let me get Fabulous and let me get, because we with Def Jam, it's like, let me ask these people, Big Sean, and
yeah,
it's like, man, I want to do something with home.
Yeah. But if, like, say you do reach out,
right,
and you do get that rejection, how do you handle that?
I just take it, like, okay, cool, he didn't want to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or she don't want
to do it.
You
still didn't give them a hit record?
No.
Okay.
No. So I'm gonna return that reject.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do a record for you because that's what come with my. I ain't about to deny that. I understand.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Stop the
that's
money.
what. I ain't about to stop that. So of course, yeah, I will do that.
But would you put as much effort into the record? You reach out to MC Whoop De Whoop, right? MC Whoop, y'all, man, I know you gonna smash this, right? They reject you, but then 6 months down the line, they working on their album. Hey, I'm ready. Let's
I need
work.
that Brody sauce.
I need that Brody.
Well, you know what? I got to keep doing albums for people to start respecting. This is my first album.
That want to be involved.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a lot of people don't respect me as an artist yet.
I feel that.
Until they come to a show.
I love that. That's realistic. I like that.
Yeah.
I love that perspective.
Yeah. So I know what I got to do.
Do you feel like that's the challenging part moving forward, is to earn that respect as an artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at this point, we know what we are, what I am as a producer, songwriter, musician. Now I'm using my vocals. Now I'm using what God gave me too. I've been quiet.
Yeah.
I'm a quiet guy, so they just like, why don't he just stay quiet, or like, just keep doing what he been doing, like stay in your lane. It's just like, I mean, everybody releasing music. I can't. Damn. Like,
Why Brody can't do this?
yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing this.
What's the most crazy favor somebody has asked you for?
I mean, damn. I don't remember. I choose not to remember those.
He just blacked that shit out.
Yeah, it's like,
How do you handle people asking you for shit?
yeah, it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot because it'd be a lot of people asking for shit, and because I'm not like a this bigger than life thing, and I'm still accessible. It can get draining sometimes because you want to do good for your people, but I mean, you know, I ain't about to just. You're not my responsibility.
Buy you a car.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nah, you got to be one of us, basically. Like,
Hey man, listen. That's my last question. When I was at the academy, I was going around. Shout out to Rance. I'm gonna tell you what he said after. A couple of other homies, right? So I'm fucked up, right? I'm down bad. I want to know what dollar amount, up to what dollar amount can I get from you, where you ain't tripping if I give it back. Like, give me a dollar amount. That's the ceiling. After that, you tripping. But like up to that dollar amount,
You can hold that.
I got it. I'm good for it, and you ain't calling my phone looking for me.
for me,
From you specifically, like a Zelle from your personal account to my personal account. How much would you let me get where you ain't tripping if I paid you back?
I got to answer this correctly. I got to answer this one correctly. 5.
I'm good for 5.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
You interpret 5.
I'm good for 5. I'm taking it. You know what I'm saying? That'll give me about 1 month. I'm good.
You give him 5.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's it. I'm good.
At least I know where I stand. I'm good.
Rand said he'll give me 20.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know.
Oh, Rand said that?
Yeah.
I'll give you 25.
That's ego.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Oh, snap.
That's what I do. I just start asking niggas for money. Fuck it. See what
You got
happens.
in the tuck.
Yeah.
I'll give him 25.
Good looking.
The year can't end without Brody Brown doing what? This is the manifestation part. You talked about, you know. Well, I'll let you answer that. The year can't end without you doing what?
The year cannot end without me getting a gold record.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. That's fire.
I need a gold record.
Need that.
For
They
my-
got 9 Grammys. He's like, I need a gold record. Fuck that. But it's my record.
Yeah, it's my record.
I feel
Exactly.
you.
I need
I
a
feel
gold
you.
record.
Yo, man, the Kickback out right now. Congratulations on everything. We look forward to seeing you continue to excel.
Thanks,
Keep doing
bro.
your shit, brother. I'm so glad we had this conversation.
It's the first one,
Yes.
but it was a good one.
Oh,
I'm
that's-
glad
yeah,
I'm glad we got it in.
Yeah,
Brody
thank
Brown.
y'all, man.
Brody Brown, go get that Kickback out now. Make that
Straight
thing
up.
gold.
It's Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head. We'll catch y'all next time.